Arizona's super bloom is well underway this April, and the mountains and trails here at home and across the state are covered with colorful wildflowers due to the rain. But there is one flower Arizonans should steer clear of: scorpion weed. 13 News reporter Emily Miranda spoke with an expert to learn more about the native plant and why you should avoid it.
To those on the trails this weekend, you may come across a flower that looks like this one right here. While it's pretty to look at, experts say you should keep your distance as it can cause a rash similar to poison ivy.
First rule of thumb is, to the extent possible, stay on the trail and don't mess with any of the wildflowers. But yeah, so if you're out hiking and you see these pretty flowers that have these little curls on them, what you want to be able to look for to know which ones you don't have to worry about at all, or which ones you want to try and avoid as much as possible.
It's called scorpion weed for the curls that resemble a scorpion's tail, and experts say there are two types to watch out for. One is completely harmless.
The flowers are a little bit lighter colored purple, and the anthers with the pollen is actually purple. So if it's got big separated leaves and flowers with purple pollen, it's okay to mess with it.
The other, you should admire from afar.
The leaves have kind of lobes, but they don't have separate leaflets on them. But the real kicker for identifying is that the one that you don't want to mess with has these kind of dark purple flowers that have yellow pollen on them.
If you come in contact with the second type, it can lead to a rash similar to poison ivy, and this can last anywhere from a few days to a couple of weeks.
To the extent possible, this one, yeah, I wouldn't suggest walking through it. I wouldn't suggest picking it. It's a native plant. There's no reason to get rid of it. It's just doing its thing out on the environment. But the more times you're exposed to it, the faster of an allergy you're more likely to develop.
But if you do come in contact with it, don't panic. There is one simple way you can prevent the rash from appearing.
Anywhere that does get exposed, especially if you're hiking before any type of rash develops, when you get home, get a nice soapy rag, rub it down with the soapy rag first, and then wash that off with cold water and rinse it a number of times.
Experts say there is some good news when it comes to this plant. It will not pose a risk to this year's wildfire season.
When these plants dry up, they dry up really quickly, and these leaves are really thin. So when they dry up, they just fall apart. So if there is a whole big field of these or most of our other native wildflowers, as soon as they get dry, there's not enough actual carbon material there to carry a wildfire.
Experts add that if your pet comes in contact with this flower, to give them a bath, preferably with gloves to protect yourself. Reporting from Gate Pass Road, Emily Miranda, back to you.